You may not know, but there are actually 10 things that you can do to make your gun more accurate. Today we're going to be talking about the AR-10. I've got a 6.5 Creedmoor that is going to be our test subject in this video, and we're going to go over all of these items. Some of them you can purchase and some of them you can't. Here is our test gun for this video, and we've had a couple of different stocks on here. I've actually never shot it with this stock on there. We had this titanium one in the drawer and I thought I would put it on, but it doesn't really look good on here. The first thing on your list of things that you can purchase in order to increase your accuracy is making sure that you have a quality barrel. This gun here has a ballistic advantage barrel. This barrel was made about 5 years ago, and it actually predates me regularly uploading on YouTube. And so a lot of you that are new to the channel have not seen much about this gun. For the most part, in the barrel category, spend your money on a barrel, on a bolt carrier group, and a trigger, and that's good advice to cheat the system a little bit and get away with some cheaper components on some other parts of the gun. All right, item number 2 that you can purchase to make your gun more accurate is the trigger. Now, in here we have a Rock River Arms 2-stage national match. If you're looking for accuracy, I typically like to go with a 2-stage. I like to feel that trigger prepped and then know that I'm gonna have a really light wall to press through. This is a mil-spec style trigger, not a cassette trigger like a lot of the guns that we've been running here recently. And so we're gonna upgrade that with a Timney. I have a couple of Timneys that I really like. This is a Daniel Horner, and you can tell it's in this old packaging. This was some new old stock that I picked up on a website. It's actually bursting through the side of the package, hoping everything is fine in there. That trigger is available currently on Timney's website. There'll be a listing for that below, but you can no longer purchase it for the price that I got this new old stock for. They have sold out. Thankfully, I grabbed 2 of those, so you might see another one coming up in another video. You can also purchase a nice optic. Now, there's a lot going on right now with YouTube as far as optics, prices of optics, some things from China. I'm gonna leave all that alone for now. We have talked about it before. We'll definitely talk about it again. For this gun, I chose a tracked optic. This is a really nice optic. It is not cheap, but it's also not $4,000. This is the tracked optic Toric, and it is the 25 zoom Ultra HD. Very clear, very precise. Everything moves exactly like it should. It's got the 0 stop. I absolutely love this optic. They did send it to me, but I have purchased other tracked optics, and I would 100% buy this again. It's not uncommon to see a handguard on a list of accuracy. Most modern AR-15s and AR-10s, they have a free-floated handguard. You're not really picking much up by switching to a different brand of handguard if it's already free-floated. What you're trying to avoid there is those older A2 style where the gas block and the front sight are clamshelled with a handguard. From a harmonic standpoint, that's a little bit tough to be consistent, and you will see some improved accuracy if you were to go from that to a free-floated handguard, but just swapping your handguards isn't going to help you out. All right, we've only got a couple of things left on this list as far as what you can purchase, and the last 2 things are things that you need to do. Ammo is the next thing on the list. You need to shoot a quality ammo if you're shooting for groups. If you're just plinking, having a good time, there's no problem with shooting some cheaper stuff. But if you're going for tight groups, you're going to have to spend the money on the ammo. There's not a lot of ways around that. You can obviously save some money reloading, but most of you are probably just buying ammo off the shelf, which is totally fine. My recommendation is just buy the same ammo. A lot of us are buying different weights, different brands. Every time we go to the store, we're picking up something different. When you get out to the range and when you want to know where your bullet's going to go, you've got to know what that ammo is. Next is your muzzle device. They do make a difference. I'm not convinced about the whole tuner thing, those muzzle tuners. Some people say they work, some people say they don't. For the most part, you just want a muzzle brake that is actually helping you and not hurting you. If you're going for accuracy, stay away from the linear compensators, the ones that push straight out the end of the barrel. I had that on this gun, and when I switched to this Anarchy Outdoors Titanium, my groups improved right away. There's a lot of great muzzle brakes on the market. I like the Ultradyne. They're all around $100 or more. Quality muzzle brakes are expensive. All right, the last two things on the list have to do with your comfort, but you can still purchase them in order to make your groups smaller. The stock, this is in the comfort category, and the grip. Today, we're going to be upgrading the stock on this to the stock that it probably should have had from the get-go. This is the full-blown, full adjustable Magpul PRS style stock. I really like the stock. It looks good. I'm sure it's going to be comfortable. I've got the cheaper Luth AR version up here on our budget 223 accuracy build. And the cheek adjustability is nice. When you're setting behind the scope in the exact same spot every time, you can't help but shoot better groups. This is in the comfort category along with your grips. Now this grip comes to us from Adjustable Bag Rider. This is their vertical grip, and it's got this big finger spacer on the side that kind of doubles as a shelf. One of the reasons that I'm enjoying this is it forces me to put my thumb on the correct side of the gun for accuracy. This is for, tactical AR-15 stuff, and this is for when you want to shoot small groups. Get your thumb on the other side. You got a little spacer there that your thumb can rest on, but it also forces your finger to hit the trigger at the exact same spot every time. It's not uncommon for people to jam their finger all the way through, and they're actually engaging the trigger all the way down past that knuckle, close to the second knuckle of your finger. You can't do that with this grip because it's spaced off and it fits the same spot every time. This instilled a lot of confidence in my shots and made a pretty big difference right away. Dave over at Adjustable Bag Rider is the guy who invented that grip, and he also invented the Adjustable Bag Rider, which his company is named for. An absolutely beautiful piece of American-made adjustability right here. He's got a lot of research and design in that. The success speaks for itself. He's been sending me emails and text messages. He's got like maybe 20 or 30% of the top long-range shooters using his stuff. His stuff finishes tops in every competition, and this is something that you can own. I'll have a link for this. He makes a great product, and we're going to install this on the Magpul PRS stock. So we know the 8 things so far that you can purchase, but purchasing accuracy is a tough road. You do need to have some of these things figured out and correct on your gun, but you can get away with a lot of these being incorrect. The 2 things that you can't get away from is the practice and education and the technique. Now, you could lump these all together or split them out into 2. Practice is going to be a really big deal. You got to know your gun, you got to know your equipment, and you got to shoot it a lot. I know it's expensive. Go put a box through a week, but you'll know your gun really well if you start doing that. Technique and education kind of go hand in hand. You've got to make sure that you're doing it correctly each and every time. For some of us, we're going to need to go take a class. You can learn a lot on YouTube, and as someone who uploads regularly to YouTube, I hope that we are learning. I know I learn from many of the channels that I watch, and I hope that you are doing the same. There's nothing wrong with going out and taking a class, hiring an expert, and skipping some steps in that initial quest for gaining information. If you pay someone for a couple hours of their time, you can skip some steps, take in some stuff that they've learned, figure it out, hey, this works, this doesn't, and it'll get you further along quicker. If you don't have any money and you're fine with figuring it out on your own, you can definitely do that. There's some great resources all over. Ask a guy at the range, find someone on YouTube to follow. Just get out there and figure it out. You can DIY this, but if you're looking to skip some steps, I highly recommend a class. I've taken many gun classes. I take several a year. I have several coming up. I'm right now doing some long range stuff, but what that means is that some of my tactical stuff is kind of lacking a little bit. Been a while since I've taken a carbine class and some stuff like that. It's even been longer since I took some handgun classes. Need to do more of that. Hopefully we can have some time to do that stuff soon. Fiocchi has sent us some ammo. Thank you very much, Fiocchi. They've sent us some ammo for this gun, for this project. We've got a few boxes left, and I got a little bit more in the other day. So loving the Fiocchi. It's the high performance stuff, really good stuff. We've shot some great groups with it. So here's how this project's gonna go. I can't show you how to do this stuff. YouTube doesn't like it when we do that. So I'm gonna get all this stuff installed. We're gonna run out to the range and shoot some groups, test some ammo, and then we'll go out to the property and we'll ring some steel at 600 yards and have a good time testing all this stuff out. I'm really excited about it. I've had this for a couple of months, but I kept ordering the wrong stock. We finally got the right one. So I'm gonna get to work. I'll see you at the range.